Hi folks, we are here in Memo Studios where we have a very special guest. Tony will give us a report just in a second. Don't miss it!
Thank you, Memo. I am honored of interviewing Mr. Rudolfo Anaya, who is the father of the Chicano literature. So, please welcome Mr. Rudolfo Anaya.
Hello, Mr. Tony. It's an honor to be here in this interview.
So, Mr. Anaya, which is your favorite novel or history that you have written?
I think it's very hard to pick which of my stories I like the most. I wrote all those stories and used my imagination when writing them. It took me time and effort for each one. I consider all of my stories quite good. However, if I had to choose one of them, I would choose Bless Me Ultima. I think this will be my favorite story because of its theme and its characters. I can really identify myself with it, and in my opinion the other stories are interesting, but not as much as this one.
Mr. Anaya, what event was the happiest moment for you related to your works?
The happiest moment for me related to my books was in 1972, when my first book was published, Bless Me Ultima. It took me 7 years to publish it. I was awarded the Premio Quinto Sol National Chicano Award for it as well. They told me that my work had an extensive vocabulary and great creativity. I have a particular affinity and love for this novel since the moment I started my writing career as a Chicano writer.
Anaya, what do or did you do when you got writer's block?
Writer's block is a funny thing. It's awful when, puff, your ideas disappear. Sometimes I just stop what I'm doing and go walk to distract my mind. Sometimes I'll go to get something to eat or drink. Other times I'll just take a nap. On some rare occasions, I have to wait days for some idea to come to my mind. Once I finally return to my work, I reread the part I have written and hopefully get re-inspired. If this doesn't work, then I'll do other things like read or research more information for background or to further support my idea and finally continue to write. Ultimately, I never give up.
Anaya, which history did you enjoy writing the most? Why?
The New Mexico trilogy was the story I enjoyed writing the most. First of all, I dedicated this trilogy to my childhood community that was Hispanics, Chicanos, and Anglo-Americans. Writing this history reminded me of traditions that I truly enjoyed with my family. This trilogy is like a story compilation that my family and neighbors live. In this book, I express the way Chicanos live and also the things they suffer while in the US. The most important reason I wrote this book is to show American people that Chicanos have traditions, customs, and they are good people. This also helped me reinforce my belief in our culture and people, which caused me to defend the Chicano rights.
So folks, it's time for commercials.
If you're enjoying this interview, don't miss it. We'll be right back.
And once again, Kobe Bryant in the final.
Good luck, buddy.
Now we're back to Memo Studio. If you just tuned the channel, we're having an interview with Mr. Anaya.
So, Mr. Anaya, who is your favorite author?
My favorite author is Mark Twain because he wrote about American pioneers and adventures. He gathered information about tourist and travel experiences that he could later use in sketches, stories, and lectures that he gave across the US. Like most of Twain's writing, a Connecticut Yankee affirms the American democratic ideals of individualism and freedom of opportunity. This very much reminds me of my ideals as a Chicano and how I treasure my traditions as heritage.
Mr. Anaya, why did you decide to write Bless Me Ultima?
I decided to write Bless Me Ultima because of my different events in my life. I remember dreams, television programs, and incidents from the past and other people's stories, as well as my own experiences. I gathered the main ideas or points from this melting pot to create this story. First, I wrote all of my ideas in a diary, and then I realized it was a great way to show people about different situations and realities of today's world. Before you know it, I have developed Bless Me Ultima.
Anaya, which authors, if any, inspired your writing?
Personally, my strongest inspiration wasn't a particular author. It was more from the history of my people and my past. Everyone that was involved with me during my life and had strong influence in my growth as an author can be acknowledged as inspirational. As you can appreciate, in my literary work, I usually reflect anecdotes or stories about Chicanos and their lifestyle, which is what I got to see live since my childhood.
Mr. Anaya, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as a recognized author, more importantly, as a good human being that taught younger generations to appreciate their traditions and not let them fade from their memories. After all, our traditions and customs help make us who we are. Losing them would mean losing part of our identity. I would also like to be remembered as a loving father and grandfather, because my family is my life. They inspire me to write some of my stories. I hope that they too are inspired by me. Finally, I like my stories to be remembered for many years and hopefully change someone's life.
Finally, Mr. Anaya, would you like to send a message to the people of Latin America?
Sí, siéntanse orgullosos de sus tradiciones, porque son buenas.
Well, thank you, Mr. Anaya, for your time.
Here was Rudolfo Anaya. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again here in Memo Studios.